Hello YouTube. It's been a while since I posted any content to my Stu the Wanderer travel page. Obviously haven't been able to do much travelling, but today I would like to share some experiences I've had on a particular trip where I went with two of my friends to Thailand for 1 month, and we were scammed multiple times, and some of the funny stories that occurred were just, they fill me up with so much joy whenever I think back to them. So hopefully by speaking about it, I not only get to keep my travel page active, but I can hopefully give you some helpful tips on what not to do in Thailand, on what to avoid, so you don't get scammed like we did. And by the way, don't let stories of scams and things that happen put you off of going travelling, because they're just part and parcel of it. Sometimes the scams can be so small that you're being charged double for a service. Maybe instead of paying 50p, you're paying £1. And sometimes you can actually get scammed for a good few £100, like me and my friends did. Not once, but twice. We can laugh at it now, but at the time when we realised what had happened, it wasn't a laughing matter. But anyway, I hope you find it humorous and enjoy some of the stories I'm about to share with you. So it began by landing in Bangkok on a Friday night. And of course we went out, we got drunk, as you do on your first arrivals. We woke up in the morning, oh, nearly walked into a tree then. We woke up in the morning feeling a little worse for wear. We walk outside our hotel, little 7-Eleven next door, get some drinks. Tuk-tuk man, he's straight onto us outside of our hotel. And he's telling us he can take us to get food and take us here and some other things. So we go along, we go with him. We think this is good. He takes us to our places, and then begins the the scam as such, because he took us to a temple. We arrived at this temple. We walk round. Wasn't very good. It wasn't a very good temple, I'll be honest. And when we left the temple, he had disappeared. Our tuk-tuk driver had disappeared. It's a taxi for anyone who doesn't know. So the tuk-tuk driver had disappeared. We're looking around, and a gentleman decides to come out of nowhere, really. He was wearing an English football shirt. He starts to talk to us, and he can talk perfect English. His English is amazing. He's got great knowledge of English football. So me and my friends, we're having the time of our life with this guy. He's like holding court at the moment, He's he's doing his thing. And then he hits us with I can't believe we fell for it. I can't believe we actually believed this at the time, but as I say, when you go travelling with your eyes wide open, sometimes the most obvious of things just go straight over your head. So he told us that there was a special holiday going on in Thailand at this month that we was there, January, and you could get 50% off all suits only in the month of January from certain shops. And we fell for it. Yeah, we fell for it. So once he knew he had got us, he must have given the signal to the tuk-tuk driver, because he just come out of nowhere again, apologised, said he was doing something. So he says, "Where do you want to go?" And we told him we want to go to the suit shop. Take us to the suit shop. So we go to this suit shop and we all get measured up. Actually, only two of us did. One of my other friends kind of half started to see through it, and anyway, he's a bit tight. Anyway, he's tighter than me. He'll love me saying that. And so me and my other friend, we get this measured up, we get the suits. I think it was about £250 we've paid, and we're not to pick them up until we return back to Bangkok in a month's time. So we get all the measurements, we think everything's great, but at this time we still don't know we've been scammed, and we leave it at that. So we leave there, and I'll get back to that story at the end of the trip when we go to collect those suits, because the scam was only just getting started with this tuk-tuk driver. And we were just a couple of naive pups going along with anything that was told to us. Next thing, he takes us to a government travel agency. That's what he told us. It was a government travel agency. You won't get scammed there, you'll get a fair price. So we go there. We end up booking the next 10 days, doing some island hopping and little bits, getting flights and accommodation. And we paid 3 times the amount we should have paid. But we didn't know at the time, so we're still thinking it's a good deal. We're not. We're just really just idiots. This is boys for you. This is boys in general. So we've gone along with it, we've paid it all off. And again, we still don't know we've been scammed at this point. We still think we're on top of the world. We think we're running Bangkok. We've got suits, we've got itinerary all lined up, and little do we know we're about to be shafted. So we do all of this and we go back to our room. We're leaving in the morning now. We've got a plane booked taking us down to Phuket, and we're getting drunk. We go out, we have one last night in Bangkok. We get back to the room, we start packing up, and I see something on the side of the hotel, a laminated sheet of paper. I start reading it, and my friends know that something is up because my mouth drops. And boys, I can't believe this. Boys, you're not going to believe it, boys. And they're what's going on? What's going on? I said, sit down. Let me read this sheet to you. Dear guests, yeah, you know where it's going. Dear guests, please be aware of a scam operating outside the front of a hotel where a tuk-tuk driver will pick you up, take you to the places you want to go, and then take you to a temple where another gentleman will appear, scam you, get you to buy suits, take you to a government travel agency. All of it is false. None of it is true. If you want to book anything, do it through us. You will pay a lot less. And by this point, we're all screaming and kicking ourselves because we're looking at the plane tickets now that we've just purchased and wondering, have we even got a plane tomorrow morning? Have we even got anything? We couldn't even remember where the shop was. He was driving around in tuk-tuk in Bangkok. So anyone who's been to Bangkok, if it's your first time there, good luck remembering where anything is. And we started to panic. We were really panicking. We were, it was dawning on us that what we had just done. And we've had to just sort of have a little bit of faith that this plane's going to work. So we go to the airport in the morning. Thankfully, the plane ticket was legit and she did actually book it. So we get our plane to Phuket. We've got accommodation for the next 10 days from like Phuket to Phi Phi, a couple of other places. The accommodation wasn't the accommodation we were shown and booked. And as I say, we paid about 3 times the amount we should have actually paid. Each losing about over £200 English pound each. So they done well from us that day. And one of the places they booked us in Phi Phi was actually a tree house. High up, I'm telling you, it was a good elevation to climb up to this thing. Weren't easy. We get up there, the mosquito nets look like ripped tights, and all 3 of us, after one night in there, we get absolutely eaten alive by mosquitoes. Wake up in the morning, I'm sick. My friend's starting to feel sick. My other friend's feeling sick. We just think we just got to cut our losses here and book into an actual decent hotel. So my mate goes and booked this hotel because we're all feeling ropey. 2 of us ride it out. We just trust our immune system. We think, you know what, if it deteriorates, then fair enough, maybe seek some medical attention. But just feeling a little bit, I'll trust the immune system to do the business. And it did on 2 of us. But one of my other friends decided to go to a pharmacy, telling me he'd been bitten by mosquitoes, wasn't feeling too well. £200 later, he gets prescribed some medicine that he's not allowed to drink on for the next 2 weeks. And yeah, just a complete waste of money on that one. But that was his own fault, the scam. So while he missed out on the suit, he didn't miss out on the pharmaceutical medicine. So they got you in the end, Ange. And this, so anyway, that was that. I would like to say that that's where the scams ended. We wised up at this point and we carried on with our trip and nothing ever happened. But no, as you're about to find out, it continued. So other little things have happened all throughout this trip. As I say, sometimes you'll be charged double for something, maybe paying £1 here, £1 there, little things like that. Always keep things in context, It's not the end of the world. You can get scammed in your own country at stuff. The big scams are the ones you want to avoid. You want to teach people and hope that they avoid, and there ain't no really excuse for people doing that to tourists, even if they have more money than you. Scams of that magnitude they're done by crooks. They're done by crooks. Let's be honest about it. So we got up to Chiang Mai. This was towards the end of the trip. We're up to Chiang Mai. So just walking around the little bit around my hometown near Leighton Buzzard today as well. A place I've always wanted to come, up by this church. It's really, really nice. Really nice little spot. Beautiful around here. So we just walk back up and continue as we were. So we go to Chiang Mai. By this point, we're getting to the end of our trip now. We're actually starting to run out of money. Lost 2 bank cards. We're not in a great place. And It's our last full day in Chiang Mai before we're getting a night bus back down to Bangkok. And being from the town that I'm from, Leighton Buzzard, we're a town of chances, let me tell you. There ain't nobody in this town that won't take a chance when it comes his way. And this one, we got ourselves into a 5-star hotel to use their pool area, just to kill some time for the day. Lovely area. We shouldn't have been up there, but you know, it's not exactly breaking the law in a bad way. We start talking to some English guys, and they just come up from they're staying at the hotel, and they're just come up from their buffet lunch. And yeah, you know where we're going. The three of us are hungry. We ain't really had no proper meals for the last few days. We're out of money, scramping around. And this 5-star buffet, just when they're telling us about it, it's just, we're drooling. We are up for this. We are up for this. So we take our chances. We get our bits, we go down, we pretend we're staying in a hotel, don't even sweat it. We start helping ourselves to the buffet food, we're getting on, we're doing all right, nobody's saying anything. And we get a little brave, we get complacent. We actually go up to the chefs now and say, excuse me, you couldn't cook like steak and a bit of chicken up and that and things like this. And they're like, yeah. So they start cooking it all up and bringing it over to our table. We've got desserts, we've got drinks, we've got teas, we've got 3-4 plates of food all there. We're living the high life. We're living the high life. And rather than being happy with that and getting away from there after it, we finish our food and we go straight back up to the pool area. Like like we own the place. And after about 15 or 20 minutes, a bit of commotion starts happening. We start seeing some walkie-talkie action, and the inevitable is walking straight towards us. 3 security guards shouting. We start panicking. We get pulled up to the front. They start threatening the police on us, and you need to do this, this and this, but we haven't got no money. We haven't got any money. So we actually, to avoid, sorry, that sun's probably a bit bright. To avoid the police getting down there and making things a lot worse, we actually have to ring home, and my friend has to get his mum to pay the bill for us, and we'll pay him when we get back. And that was that, you know, avoided some police trouble, but still we're just losing more and more money at this point. And by then we're broken men, really. We're broken men. We really just want to sort of get back at this point, but we still got to pick our suits up. So we go to Bangkok, and we pick the suit up. My suit comes out first. I just played it safe. I ordered a charcoal grey suit. Comes out, try it on. I think, yeah, this is actually all right. I know you've scammed us and I've overpaid in that, but to be fair, this is a fitted suit, 3-piece number. Got a couple of shirts with it as well. I was like, yeah, not bad, I'll take that. My friend, however, his suit, he's got style. He's got style in abundance, this fella, Neil, if you're watching. Style in abundance, so he can pull anything off. He ordered like an electric blue suit. When it came out, we could see quite clearly that the colours weren't matching. They weren't the same as the one that he had picked. He was frothing, weren't happy, he was shouting off. They said, look, try it on and we'll see what we can do. So he tries it on. He comes out from around this curtain. He's quite a tall fella anyway, right? The suit is halfway up his ankles, halfway up his wrists, colours not matching, not even that well fitted. Geezer's just had a month of, you know what I mean, relentless partying. He ain't having it. He's going off the head. Me and my other pal just can't stop. We can't stop laughing at this. We're rolling around on the floor. It's just pandemonium. It's just finishing off the trip in the best possible way with filled laughter. So he has to take the suit. We've already paid for it. There's nothing we can do. We're going home in the morning, so he just has to take this suit. He didn't wear it for years, actually. He didn't wear it for years. And as I told you, he's a guy with style. So he wears it one time. He wears it many, many years after the trip, and he actually pulled it off. The guy pulled it off. The Dapper Don, Hugo Boss as I call him. And that was us coming to the end. We had no money. We had nowhere to stay in Bangkok on that night. We actually just went to the hotel we stayed in the first time, but we should have listened to. We should have listened to them. They did put their laminate up, and they actually did try to warn us a couple of times, but you know, young, stupid and naive, and that is why traveling is amazing, but you do need to keep your wits about you, and you do need to keep your eyes open, and don't be so trusting. It's not a great way to go about things, but trust people, sure, but don't be so trusting with everything, you know. Just keep that little bit of doubt with people in the back of your mind, and I think that will just be enough to guide you right most of the time. Some of the times it's completely unavoidable. There's no ways of getting around it. And just actually to add one more thing that happened to me here, when I crossed the border from Thailand to Cambodia, they made out that Cambodia had no ATMs and was all this very poor country, which it is, by the way. This is quite a poor country, especially compared to Thailand. But they said we'd need to exchange money, the Thai border and all these things. And now I look back at it, I know exactly what had happened. Every single person on that bus that crossed over got scammed by the Thai side. And I'm not tarnishing all Thai people badly, please don't say that. Scams happen in every single country, even in my country. You can get your pants pulled down by absolutely anyone. And they're always a minority, these people that do these things. So don't tarnish everybody with the same brush. I'm just sharing these things so that other people can avoid them, so that these crooks don't get any more of tourist money. And they can use that money buying things from actual genuine people, which, you know, that's the best thing to be doing. So they do this, and the exchange rate they give you, they're all on the calculator. Anyway, you end up losing so much. Me and another girl, there was about 40 of us on this bus, and they got literally all 40 to do it. And me and this other girl, just right at the end, after we'd handed over the money and been given it, we know something's not right. We can't quite see, you know, we just can't quite put our finger on it, but we know it isn't right. And then we just trust our gut instinct. We go back, we get our money, and we leave it at that. We take back our Thai baht, and we're going to change it over the other side of the border. And when we get over there and we realise what has happened, yeah, they scammed everybody. They must have made thousands off of the people on that bus. I'm not exaggerating. It was a well-oiled scam, that one. So just be aware of that if you are crossing the border over on the buses with the exchange rate and things. Make sure you know exactly what it is from a reliable source before you exchange anything. So, and anyway, as I say, in that last hotel that I stayed in, we stayed there for 3 nights at the beginning. We had no money. They welcomed us in. They fed us that day. They let us use their wash facilities. They let us just lounge around, you know what I mean, without a penny, and taking care of us and that. And that was something that always stayed with me, that those people done that, you know. We didn't know them. We didn't exactly spend a huge amount of time in their hotel or money there. We had a nice little, you know, friendly faces and saying hello and all this stuff. But that's something. And I actually stay in touch with 2 of those people to this day. Still exchange messages here and there, and that's great. That's wonderful. So thank you, ladies, on Onumua, if you're watching, and Xion Piao. She worked there at that time. She was actually trying to tell us not to do this scam thing, but you know, boys will be boys. You learn the hard way, and sometimes. So anyway, hope you find some of those stories of use, or could be of use to anybody you know, maybe. And also found it a little bit humorous on this Sunday morning. As I said, look, my hometown in the background over there. Lovely little Sunday walk. Anyway, enjoy yours. See you soon.